Good day to you folks, and welcome back to another video with Crypto Ninjas. My name is Dale, and today we will be talking about the crypto strategic reserves. President Trump came on X and announced there will be 5 cryptocurrencies that he will add into the crypto strategic reserves of the US, and they are Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, Solana, and XRP. But the big question is, what are the next cryptos that he's considering to be added in this US crypto strategic reserves? And I think that I have an answer for you. So this video, I will be giving you my top 3 prediction of the best crypto that might potentially be added into this reserve. Let's go. Before we dive into this video, make sure to follow and subscribe to Crypto Ninjas for the best crypto contents. So first of all, to understand what makes a crypto asset eligible for the crypto strategic reserve, we need to look at how traditional reserves are selected, right? So the Federal Reserve chooses assets based on the following 5 criteria. The first one is stability and low volatility, right? Obviously, the asset must be resistant to extreme price fluctuations to maintain economic stability. We don't want volatile asset in the reserves, right? So assets like US Treasuries or gold are chosen because they hold value during market downturns. The second criteria is the liquidity and market depth. So the asset must be easily traded in large volumes without causing price fluctuation. High liquidity ensures that central banks can also quickly convert assets to cash if needed. The third criteria is creditworthiness and trust, right? So the asset must come from a trusted and stable issuer with a strong credit rating, typically AAA rated. This ensures that the US economy remains credible in global financial markets. The fourth one is government control and regulatory compliance. So what that means is the Fed prioritizes assets that are subject to US monetary policy or strong international regulations. This helps maintain economic sovereignty and protects against foreign influence. And the final and the fifth criteria is strategic use case and global acceptance. What that means is the assets should serve as a practical purpose in supporting economic stability or international trade. This must be widely accepted by global institutions to reinforce the dollar's dominance. Now, I know that we're talking about a crypto strategic reserve. This is not a Federal Reserve, right? However, I think that the Trump administration, before picking any assets, they have to consider at least some of these, those following criteria. So I have drafted a new list of criteria that I think is much more suitable for the crypto assets and the nature of this market, right? Because at the end of the day, by the time of making this video, there's no regulations yet, right? So the 5 criteria that we will be judging the crypto assets on are the following. First of all, it's still stability and low volatility, right? The asset must be resistant to speculation and price crashes. If you look at the 5 cryptos that Trump named, Sol, ADA, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're all within the top 10 biggest cryptos when it comes to liquidity and market cap. So there is no doubt that he really value liquidity, right? And stability. The next one is liquidity and market depth. Obviously, it must be easy to trade in large volumes without disrupting the prices. So the top 10, obviously. Security and decentralization is the third criteria. Now, it must be resistant to manipulation, censorship, or attacks. This can be, similar to creditworthiness and trust of the Federal Reserve's criteria, but obviously there is no regulations yet, right? So, and in crypto, decentralization, the more decentralized an asset is, the more secure it is, right? So obviously decentralization and security is one of the top. The fourth one is government regulatory compliance. I know there's no regulations yet, however there will be, right? And so what that means is, I think the Trump administration would be much more interested in looking at the tokens that can very potentially, be quick under regulations, right? Or be quickly regulated. He would pretty much prefer assets like that. The fifth one is strategic use case. So it must serve real world financial or technological functions for the US economy, right? Must have some sort of use case. And the final one is global recognition, right? So it should be widely accepted by international institutions. Okay, so those are actually the 6 criteria that I've cooked up with. Let's look at my top 3 cryptos to be added. The first one is USDC. Yep, the stablecoin reserve. I wholeheartedly think that there will be a stablecoin being bought and added into the Trump's, crypto strategic reserve. USDC is a fully backed US dollar stablecoin issued by Circle, another US company. Let's look at, the criteria and see if it matches what we're looking for, the standards, right? So first of all, it's stability and low volatility. Now, is USDC stable and low volatile? Obviously, yes. It's a stablecoin pegged 1-to-1 to US dollar, virtually zero, volatility, making it the most stable crypto option. So no brainer. The second one is liquidity and market depth. Obviously, it passed the test, right? USDC is one of the most liquid digital assets with over $30 billion in circulation and massive trading volume. No doubt about that, right? The next one is security and decentralization. I would say for this criteria, USDC is like partially passing this thing. Circle, the parent company, the issuer, controls the issuance and redemption. So it makes USDC very centralized, obviously. However, Circle is regulated. So if the issuer is regulated in the US, I don't think that's an issue. So yeah, it sort of like passes this test. But I don't think it's gonna be like much big, as big of an issue, The next thing is government regulatory compliance. Does it pass this test? Yes, USDC is already regulated, follows US financial laws and has audited reserves, making it the most legally viable option. So no doubt about that. The next one is a strategic use case and global recognition. Yes, obviously USDC can act as a digital dollar alternative. That's why it was born. It helps the government settle transactions and support liquidity and stabilize crypto markets. And we know that Trump doesn't like CBDCs, right? And so what is an alternative to CBDCs? Probably USDC. And what about global recognition? Obviously, yes, it is trusted by institutions worldwide and used in international finance, giving it global reserve potential. It is unlike USDT. USDT is it's not regulated in Europe under MiCA laws. So, if you want to say and USDT if you want to add USDT as a global reserve, I don't think that they would do that, even though USDT is much bigger than USDC, right? So I say USDC when it comes to the global recognition and regulation, it's much better. So yeah, that is on top of our list, a stablecoin. So our second crypto in this list to be added is gonna be none other than Avalanche. Yes, AVAX, and let me tell you why. Okay, so first of all is stability and volatility. Does AVAX pass the test? I'll say it partially passes the test. Why? Because AVAX is not within the top 10 when it comes to the market cap or the liquidity, right? So it's a little bit more volatile than stable coins like USDT and USDC. The second criteria is liquidity and market depth. Does it pass it? Yeah, again, it partially passes this test. All right, again, it has really high trading volume across major exchanges. I'm looking at Avalanche right now. It has about $500 to $600 million in trading volume. This is not the best, I understand, because I really want this trading volume to be in the billions. You know what I mean? The third one is security and decentralization. Does it pass? Yes, it passes the test. Avalanche is, highly decentralized, proof of stake, consensus, and thousands of validators securing the network. One of the most secure blockchain besides Ethereum, right? So highly recommend it. The fourth one is it's government regulatory compliance. Is it compliant with government regulation? I'll say, because there is no regulations yet, but I'll say it wants to be, you know what I mean? And that's the key word. I think the US and the Trump administration wants to look at tokens that want to be regulated fast. And let's look at AVAX. Do they want to be regulated fast? Yes. So there are signs from AVAX, right, that shows us this. So first of all, the number one reason is they are actively working with US and international institutional partnerships, right? So like Amazon Web Service, AWS, right? Deloitte or MasterCard and Citibank, whatever. Like like a lot of these big organizations and conglomerates, they're using and preferring Avalanche over the other blockchains. There has to be a reason, right? So obviously the governments, when they look at these partnerships, they would very much prefer AVAX over other blockchains because they want a blockchain that partner up with, again, regulated international institutions rather than just blockchains that are used for anonymous transactions and degen stuff, right? The second reason I think Avalanche is going to be very, very quickly regulated once there is is that they have built-in compliance features like the subnets and KYC enabled blockchains. What that means by that is Avalanche has something called the subnets, right? And these subnets, just think of it as like smaller blockchains that can be customized by the builders. Like if you want to create your own blockchain on Avalanche, you can go ahead and do that just like that. And you can just basically create and choose your preferred parameters, right? So what this enables Avalanche to do is these smaller blockchains allows big companies or anyone, any companies like TradFi or whatever, even the governments, right? To create subnets, like smaller blockchains using Avalanche, and they can basically enforce KYC or AML, anti-money laundering, whatever features into this blockchain, and you know, people have to do it. You know what I mean? So these smaller blockchains will be so very, very, very compliant. It can also be private blockchains as well, right? So it can be very, very compliant if they want to, and I think that the governments would very much prefer this approach. The final criteria is strategic use case and global recognition. I'll say when it comes to strategic use case, yes, AVAX passes. Now, when it comes to global recognition, I'll say it partially passes, you know, because it's not as highly recognizable like Ethereum or Bitcoin or USDC. To me, AVAX just barely enough to make it through this list. In the future, you know, we have to look at AVAX to see what's going on. There are other tokens that are more qualified than Avalanche, but I still put Avalanche in this list because, you know, there is a very, very good post by CryptoRank, which is made in the USA, AVAX, right? Which has an ETF applications, AVAX. Blockchain projects attend the White House Crypto Summit event, also AVAX. So basically, AVAX meet all of these three different criteria, while there are different tokens that do not. Right? So yeah, AVAX definitely a strong contender. The final one in this list, and I think it has so much potential to be added next in the crypto strategic reserve, is Chainlink. Yes, Link is a ticker. Chainlink is an Oracle network. I think you guys know what Chainlink is. But yeah, basically it connects smart contracts to real world data. And yeah, I think that when it comes to my different, you know, criteria, I think it meets, I'll say, like all of it. So first of all is stability and low volatility. Is it stable? Does it has low volatility? I'll say for this one it partially passes, right? Because Link has, you know, obviously higher volatility than stable coins like USDC. But you know, its widespread adoption in institutional finance sort of like reduces the risk, right? If you look at Link is probably one of the most highly used like altcoins by institutions, right? By TradFi, rather than, you know, obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum. The next one is liquidity and market depth. Does it have a lot of liquidity? What about its market depth? Yes, it passes because you know, by the time I'm making this video, Link I believe is at top 12, but just a few days ago when I was doing the script, it was at like top 11, right? But it was overthrown by Pi, so it's interesting. Maybe we should add Pi to the list, I don't know. But yeah, Chainlink has over $10 billion in market cap. I'll say a very deep liquidity, right? About $1 billion in trading volume. And when it comes to the security and decentralization, yes, it's a decentralized network, secures global financial data, making it resistant to manipulation. So very good. The fourth one is government regulatory compliance. Yes, Chainlink provides infrastructure, not financial instruments. So it is not a securities. Okay, so it will never be categorized as a security. Okay, so it's very good. It's very compliant. And I think once there is, you know, regulation, Chainlink is going to be regulated just like that, right? So very easy. And the final criteria is strategic use case and global recognition. Yes, Chainlink is very critical for smart contract adoption. So when it comes to use cases, perfect. It secure banking, insurance, and even military supply chain. So very good. Global recognition, yeah, I say Chainlink is much more or globally recognized than Avalanche, right? It's trusted by a lot of big banks and DeFi projects worldwide. So very good. So there we go. That's my list for the top 3 tokens to be added next into the crypto strategic reserve of the US. We got, first of all, USDC, a very strong contender that I think will be definitely added. The next one is Avalanche. Now this barely makes it through the list, but I'm very bullish about Avalanche, and I'm willing to bet that it will be added next, right? After the White House meeting, we'll see what's going on. And the last one is Chainlink, right? The data security layer for smart contracts. Link has funny enough, the Trump World Liberty Financial, they also bought Link, right? So there's got to be something going on here, right? So yeah, I mean, those are the 3 assets. Let me know what you think down in the comments of this video. If you agree or disagree with me, also just let me know in the comments, right? I'll make sure to reply to you both, to you all. And thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe to Crypto Ninjas. Use our referral links for the best 20% off of your trading fees, and I'll see you in our next video, and take care. Bye bye.